I've spent my life making the hard choices, choosing discipline, choosing sacrifice. And the most disheartening thing about successfully doing that in a lot of areas, I'm not perfect, so I haven't succeeded in all areas, but I've succeeded in a lot of areas. And the most disheartening thing about it all is that the reward you get from those who have been closest to you is often ridicule and projection. So you can spend your life choosing the hard things, putting in the work, being disciplined, watch other people make poor choices, choose not to be disciplined, choose to take the easy road. And when you're both reaching your destinations, they demonize you for your success. I've literally had people tell me, people who have been standoffish to me or become standoffish when I've achieved things, not really open up to me or want to be close to me until they see me make a mistake. And then suddenly they're like, oh, so you're not perfect. Okay, now I can like you. What is that about? It's almost like the very qualities that cause people not to do the work, not to be disciplined, like that lack of self-awareness, the lack of insight, is the same thing that makes them attribute the success of others to, whatever, luck, or, in the case of people having wealth, they attribute it to them being evil or cutthroat or cheating people, because it's so hard to accept that their results come from their choices, their behaviors, and their beliefs. And then not only that, they will often take it a step further, right? So they're not attributing your success, your abundance, to your hard work. So they don't think you deserve it. And then they think that they know better what you should be doing with your abundance. So they'll make statements like, well, she's got it. Why doesn't she just XYZ? Or why don't you just get her to XYZ? There's this attitude that they know best how you should deal with your windfall that you didn't earn. And they feel that everyone else deserves a piece of what you've earned. And that's so annoying to me. Never would I feel entitled to anything that somebody has earned through their own blood, sweat, and tears. Never. And I've had so many people pour into me from their abundance, but not once have I ever felt entitled to it, because I know what it takes to do certain things, to have certain things, to be a certain kind of person. And so it's so disheartening, especially when it's people that you're close to or family members, to deal with having to become an outsider or being judged or having people, create these stories about you just because your trajectory has been different from theirs. After all your hard work, that's the reward. I often don't talk about these things because I'm afraid people will assume that I'm naive to real challenges. So often people will attribute their challenges, and rightfully so, to systemic issues, to certain circumstances that they've had to deal with. But the thing that I've learned over time is that we all have to deal with challenging circumstances, and there are ways you can choose to respond to that. And there's a certain direction you can go in. Maybe there's a cap on a certain type of experience. I don't believe that truly, but, maybe it is more difficult for some than others. But the attitude that someone else doesn't deserve something because you don't have it indicates to me that the attitude is the biggest part of the problem. And I'm aware that there are real challenges. I'm also very aware of how I've been supported, about what advantages I have been given alongside any challenges that I face. So I'm not naive to all of those dynamics, but it just gets under my skin when people make assumptions, when people don't acknowledge that choices, beliefs, and, making one choice over another actually has a real impact on how things turn out for you. And when they see someone else in a position that they think they deserve, but they're also not willing to do the things that that person did to get into that position, and it upsets them, or they demonize the person because of it. So just some late night ramblings for anyone else who can relate.